Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. Today we're taking a look at the 2023 Subaru Ascent Limited in the autumn green. Now the Ascents for 23 got a facelift, new front end, much larger grille. It's more aggressive looking for sure. Even the lower portion of the bumper got a refresh. Fog light bezel's got a refresh. Headlights are a different shape, more angular, not quite as large and bulbous, leading to a very aggressive look, especially compared to the previous gen Ascent. I guess it's still the same generation, previous body iteration, however you'd like to call it. So Limited is essentially a full load, one step under the Premier. You have a lot of features in it. You get 20-inch wheels, new wheels on the 23s, sharp looking wheels. I do really like them versus the previous iterations. Autumn green has a little bit of brown to it, probably pick it up in the camera right now, so it stays very, very clean looking. All of our mirrors have integrated turn signals. There's another visibility point for safety. They all come with the roof rails, and you can get crossbars as an accessory if you're going to carry anything on the roof. Integrated tie downs, front and rear. We got the panoramic sunroof, moonroof combination. And then as we move to the back remains pretty much identical to the previous 2022 model year. At the rear, we have the backup sensors, and they'll apply the brakes when it thinks you're going to hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. This centerpiece here, that can be removed when you have the hitch installed, so you can have that finisher when you're not towing for a more completed look. Now it is a power lift gate. You can do it from the key fob, the driver's seat, or the door itself, and it's just underneath there by the backup camera. Being a 7-passenger, third row up, you do still have decent room. We have grocery bag hooks on either side. We have 2 hard mount physical tie downs along with a 12-volt outlet. Halogen cargo light, that will shut off when I close the rear hatch. Now, if I need more room, it's a 60-40 split. I can fold down the 60% side, and I've substantially increased the amount of storage that I have. I can, of course, do both, lift and push. There you go. When you do that, you do have access to 2 additional hard mount tie downs. Third row, cup holders and media storage on each side. On the right hand side, we have 2 2.1 amp USB chargers along with media storage. We do have a Harman Kardon audio system in the Limited, so a really nice audio system. And then we have this slot here. That is for the privacy cover, which is tucked under here. So you can't really use it when the third row's up, so use it when the third row's folded, and you have lots of room, and you can cover all of it. All of your spare tire tools are under here as well. And of course, some are tucked behind this, back here, and then even under here. So it is a lot of stuff tucked into a small location, which isn't a bad thing. And then put this back. Now, I'll show you how much space is in the third row. We'll lift this up. So when you pull it up, it locks straight up and down, and then you can recline it multiple different angles, and then headrests do pop up. Very easy to use. It's a lot harder to do it one-handed than with 2 hands, but you get the gist of it. Now, to close it, I can grab the handle, I can do it from the key fob, I can do it from here. I can lock and close it. Can't do that right now because the vehicle's running, but I do that, and it closes. In the second row, being a 7-seater, you do get the captain's chairs. So as a teen or an adult, the captain's chairs are much more comfortable than the bench, in my opinion. But if the goal is to stuff as many people in here as possible, the bench makes sense. Now, to access the third row, with it being a 7-seater, I've got 2 options. I can walk through the middle and access the third row, and that's what these little handles are for. They're so that someone can grab it and leverage their way through. If you're taller, it's hugely beneficial. Or on the side of the seat, and it's the same on that passenger seat. Lift, slide. This is designed to be a step. And you can see, not bad room in the third row. Taller people are going to have their knees a little cramped, but if you're not super tall or you're sticking children back here, there's good room. This second row seat does also have a manual adjustment bar, so I can move it forward and increase the amount of storage or passenger legroom in the third row. So there is some adjustability there. Now these captain's chairs do have the fold down armrests, so they go down and then they lock in multiple positions depending upon what you're looking for comfort. On the inside, center console, I have climate controls, or I can control it from the front, which I'll show you. The front can also lock this out, but the middle row seats are both heated. And we've got our fan strength controls. We can control the temperature. Mode changes where the airflow is being directed, and that shows right there. So feet and face, just face. And the vents for the quote unquote face are actually out of the roof. So you actually feel the heat or the air conditioning quite quickly. 2 USB ports, USB A and C for charging. We have cup holders, map back pockets on the backs of both front seats. We have cup holders, multiple bottle holders. Interesting fact, there's 19 cup and bottle holders in this Ascent. There is no excuse to run out of space for cups. Soft touch. So comfort if you're resting your arm there as a passenger. Power window. We get the sunshade, which is really nice on both sides for the passengers, and it's very simple to take up or down. You simply lift and it goes down, same thing all the way back up, and there are these little hooks on either side right there and there that they hook into. So great if someone's trying to take a nap. It is already privacy glass, but it does cut down on sun glare. Up front, door card looks very much the same. Soft touch. Window lock, so no one can play with the windows. Power window controls, power mirror. We do get 2 position memory settings for your seats. Harman Kardon audio system, so the upgraded audio system. Sounds phenomenal. And then we have bottle holders and storage in the door card as well. Driver's seat, of course, leather, just like the second row. And again, good headroom. The panoramic sunroof moonroof doesn't take away from the headroom at all. And these headrests are tiltable. Now the memory settings will not remember your manual thigh extender if you use it. And to use this, it's a little handle right there. Simply lift and it springs out. Harder to do when you're sitting on it, but it does extend the seat. So if you have long legs and your legs are falling asleep because this is cutting off circulation, extend it. Very, very comfortable. On the left-hand side here, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. We can turn on all of the interior lights, and we have this scroll wheel to control the brightness of the gauges. So I've just dimmed them and just turn them back up. So handy if your eyes are sensitive and you're driving at night. Steering wheel adjustability, bottom left of the steering column, pull down, and then it's tilt and telescopic. So you can set it for a variety of driving heights, arm, and leg lengths. And this is the new style steering wheel. Heated steering wheel, full heated wheel. There's a dead spot right there though. Left-hand side, this is different from the previous 2022s. This is now volume instead of this. This changes our center display, gives us different information depending on what you want to look at. This has a nice new tactile click to it, a nice feel. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is quite satisfying. We've got voice commands, or use Siri when using Apple CarPlay, Google Assistant during Android Auto, hang up or decline, issue phone call, switch from AM to FM, Bluetooth, etc., switch between presets. And then this, if a little orange eye pops up on the dash, press that, it'll tell you what it is. There's no guessing. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and our lane centering, along with increase or decrease of follow distance for the cruise control. And both of those systems use these 3 camera. So we've got the 2-color stereo EyeSight cameras that we had before, but we now have this new 3rd wide angle mono camera. So that increases the field of view left and right, picks up pedestrians and cyclists more easily. It's a better EyeSight. It's EyeSight 4.0, but it's been updated. It's great. Now, when I'm using cruise, I turn on cruise control. I get an image of the Ascent right there, and you'll notice that there is 4 bars ahead of it. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you'll follow at if you catch up while using cruise. So 4 bars, 100 kilometers an hour, roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. I can decrease that follow distance if I want to follow closer by pressing this down arrow. And you'll notice it's down to 1 bar. I can increase it. Up here in the north, I do recommend 4 bars. As you get closer to major centers, you may need to follow closer if you're using cruise. We do also have lane centering. So I've turned that on, and we've got these gray lines. And essentially, above 60 kilometers an hour, if the cameras right there can see the road lines, whether that's one or both or none, it'll tell you which ones it can see. It'll illuminate white. And then above 60, it'll actually give you gentle steering input to keep you in the center of your lane. I do recommend it for long distance driving. I think it's a great feature that makes you less fatigued at the end of a day of driving. It's phenomenal. We do have paddle shifters, upshift, downshift, if you want to manually select your own gears with the CVT. This is new. This is the driver focus system. So they've brought it across from the Outback Forester and the Crosstrek legacy to this Ascent. So you scan your face in, and it'll tell you if you're drowsy, if you're not paying attention to the road. It's a pretty cool feature. And you scan up to, I think, 5 different drivers in. Below that, 11.6 inch touchscreen. Top portion here, they've got 5 different screens. We've got widgets, as they call them, with water temp, oil temp, calendar. I can change those if I want. Simply press on the one I want to adjust. Speed limit. You can see speed limit. I'm on a parking lot, so there isn't one that shows there. But you just click, and away you go. Simple as that. If we go to the right, we've got weather, which is part of the 3-month trial of the satellite radio you get with most new Subarus. And then we get X mode, and we get dual function X mode. So normal is just all-wheel drive, snow dirt, rough terrain mode, downhill descent control, and deep snow mud, which also turns off traction control to allow for excess wheel spin. So they're like 4x4 low, just a little different. Now, they will kick out automatically if you exceed 40 kilometers an hour. So you don't need to worry about that. You can't wreck anything. If you're driving down the road at 100 kilometers an hour and someone presses it, nothing bad's gonna happen. It just won't engage. Navigation destination. So if I set a destination in the map and then I go to the radio screen, it'll tell me turn right on Highway 16 coming up, 200 meters. And then we've got what we're listening to, whether that's AM, FM, satellite, or through Bluetooth or aux. Main portion of the screen, we've got our home screen, our tiles from that. Brings up our navigation, which is powered by TomTom. Radio, media is Bluetooth, aux, etc. Apps, we have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. You do have a tile for that right there. We have access to the settings, and you've got general sound, navigation, phone, and car, and radio. And you've got a bunch of customization you can do to it. Below that, we have vehicle controls, we have driving assistance, more settings. There's lots to play with in this car. You can add up to 5 phones to Bluetooth in total, and we have driver profiles. And then the lower portion here, lower third we'll say, is climate control. So it is dual zone, it's actually tri-zone. So when I click this, it brings up the climate. Now I can touch, I can drag, I've got lots of adjustability. I do have physical buttons I can use on either side for driver and passenger. I can sync it all together to just be controlled by the driver. And that also controls the rear. If you notice that, I can turn off, I can set the rear on its own, or I can have it synced up. I can control the fan strength. I can lock it out so no one in the second row or third row can play with the controls that I was showing you earlier. I can turn the rear off completely if no one's riding back there. And then of course I have 3 stages of heated seats for both the driver and the passenger. I can just simply press and hold and it shuts it off, or if I want a lesser level, I simply press. Fan strength button, nice and large so it's hard to miss. Below that, storage cubby with a 12-volt outlet. It is rubberized to try to stop your device from sliding around. And then we have USB A and C sockets along with music aux. This used to be the X mode button, but they've since moved that into the screen, as I was showing you earlier. Cup holders are illuminated around the bottom. It is the automatic CVT with manual mode. When I put it in reverse, backup camera automatically pops up and the mirror tilts down so I can see the parking line the parking stall line that I'm backing up to. But right now you can see sensors are going off. It's saying good, green is good distance. That's cross traffic alert. It picked up those cars. Parking sensors are on, rear assist braking's on. If I turn the wheel, those orange lines move, show you where you're gonna end up. And if we have washer fluid, which I think we might be out of, oh, there we go. I can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle. I just simply twist and hold. It's awesome. Best thing ever for the winter. Now, it does also display here showing me that the sensors are picking up something and that we're good because we're green. Below the shifter, parking brake, you pull up to turn on. If your foot's not on the brake and you push down, it doesn't go off. It does actually say to press brake pedal, foot on the brake, and it goes off. In this large center console, change tray, stickers with a VIN on it, and a lot of storage. So there's a lot of storage in this car overall. Up top, my favorite feature ever, auto dimming rear view mirror. There's no switch to flick. It just automatically dims if someone's behind you. Your side mirrors are also the same, auto dimming. There is a home link system. You can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror, so you don't have to carry a bulky opener with you. Integrated compass. And then above that, we have our, oh, there we go, our sunglass storage, along with our spy mirror, or as Subaru calls it, conversation mirror. We also have SOS and concierge/roadside assistance. That's part of the 3-year trial to the connected services that you get. We've got our sunroof controls and our sunshade controls. So the shade is power, and I can stop it at any point. Or I can just let it do its thing. And when you close it, definitely a big difference. But I mean, look at the visibility in this. It's phenomenal. Even with those 3rd row headrests up, visibility is great in this Ascent. And so long as you're in park, you don't even have to have your foot on the brake. So long as you're in park, shuts off, says reminder, look in rear seat, because I had the rear seat or the rear door open within the last 30 minutes of turning on the car. The trunk release lever is right here. You have to go back kind of far. Let's take a look. So something I didn't mention earlier, power plant is a 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer engine producing 260 horsepower and 277 pounds-feet of torque, running on regular fuel. Lots of power in this large vehicle. Top mount intercooler, and pretty much everything the average consumer is going to touch is in yellow. Brake fluid, washer fluid, coolant, oil, filters up top there, dipstick, and then the air filter. And then I always get asked about this. What's this? This takes airflow through the top of the grill here and runs it through that and down over top of the intercooler to help with combustion. Makes the air more dense before it goes into the combustion chamber. And then for closing it, I just like to drop it. I don't like to put my hands on it and push down. It feels like I'm going to wreck something when I do that, and that's a personal thing. That is a quick look at the 2023 Subaru Ascent Limited 7-seater in the autumn green metallic. If you have any questions about this vehicle behind me, any of the vehicles in our lineup, any of the tech, please let me know. I'm always looking to answer you guys' questions. And if you guys are in British Columbia looking for a Subaru, please reach out to me. Let me know what you're looking for. I'd be more than happy to help. A lot of the time, our wait times are shorter than the big stores. So again, please reach out. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.